We're live and welcome along. It's the Medicine Show, Moose Mobile, and I have got the lovely Malcolm MacWatt with me today. Still, we're in England. I mean, we've been dotting around with the Moose Mobile, but Mal is, although a Highlander, is exiled in London. Hi, Mal. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Rob. How are you?
Good. I'm delighted with the response for the album because we've been I've been semi-involved, and my brother was a big supporter of this Scott EP, of course.
He was indeed.
You and I have known each other forever, anyway. So yeah, I'm delighted to see.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me along.
What's going on and released this week.
Yeah, released on Friday, 26th. So yep, I'm. Seems like I've been waiting forever because I gave the label the album exactly a year ago. So and it was finished then, you know. And then someone there had the wonderful idea of adding a few guests into it. So that was great.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. I mean, I've got a little graphic here. I think we'll come back and do that. I'll come back to the graphic. But I've got a video lined up. So for those that don't know Mal MacWatt's work, tell us a bit about the video before I play it.
Yeah, okay. So this one, it was made by the very talented Emma Swift. She's got an album out at the moment actually called Blonde on the Tracks, which is doing really well for her. But she's got a really brilliant little sideline in making these quirky videos. This one's song called Avalanche and Landslide. It features Jamie Harris from Nashville, who's does an absolutely amazing vocal on this. So this is it.
Very cool. Is that on the album, Mal?
It's the first track on the album.
It's the opening track on the album. Yeah, okay, this is the Table Setter, guys. Mal MacWatt and the Avalanche and Landslide. We'll be back to talk to Mal in just a minute. Thanks.
Bailouts for bankers, handouts for the rich. Blue-collar man gets a kick in the teeth. They're buying us cheap and selling us short, taking us for everything we got. I'm just one small rock, I'm sliding downhill. Got a road the country can't go where I will. I'm just one stone so low, I'm picking up speed. Another small rock, and another small rock. Now we're rolling thunder and we're never gonna stop. Construction work was destroyed by the suits. Timber trade was torn up by the roots. Seems like the good jobs are no longer made. There's not much call for an honest trade. And I'm just one small rock, I'm sliding downhill. Gotta roll with the country, can't go where I will. Just one stone so low, but I'm picking up speed. Moving along, just hoping to meet another small rock and another small rock and another small rock. Now we're rolling thunder and we're never gonna stop. 'Cause together we're a landslide, together we're an avalanche. 'Cause together we're a landslide, you're never gonna stand a chance.
Never gonna stand a chance.
We're moving like a freight train, we're pulling like a riptide. Together we're an avalanche, together we're a landslide. Steel mill slumber turning to rust, farmlands tilled and crumbling to dust. Even the oceans and the air that we breathe, poisoned, exploited for greed. And I'm just one small rock, I'm sliding downhill. Gotta roll with the country, can't go where I will. I'm just one stone so low, but I'm picking up speed. Moving along, just hoping to meet another small rock and another small rock and another small rock. Now we're rolling thunder and we're never gonna stop. 'Cause together we're a landslide, together we're an avalanche. Together we're a landslide, you're never gonna stand a chance.
Never gonna stand a chance.
We're moving like a freight train, pulling like a riptide. Together we're an avalanche, together we landslide. Together we're an avalanche, together we're a landslide. Together we're an avalanche, together we're a landslide.
Sorry, that is the wrong. Just trying to get rid of the.
Hey. Hey, you alright?
I got lost there with the technology. Beautiful, beautiful video as well. If anything, it's as a table setter for the album. It's certainly highlighting your political credentials, would I say?
Yeah, there's definitely there's a touch of Pete Seeger and Guthrie in there, I think. So
I think, yeah. And if ever there was a time for people just to step out from the bland and say what they were thinking really in their music. It's just about now. Is that
Yeah.
is that is that a conscious decision, or is it just something that you can't help anyway?
I think it's pretty much usually in my writing. I think especially the folk stuff, because you can everything is just about the lyric really, and when it's just you and an acoustic guitar, it's a great format to
Yeah,
just to get your to get your thoughts over. So I tend to be a bit more political with all the folk music stuff that I do. I think when I'm plugging in an electric guitar and it's all about the drums and bass, then it's like
it's good time
I'm
and happy,
yeah,
good time and dance and
aye.
yeah, different dynamic altogether. But
But I
it's
think
folk music, Malcolm. It's music about folk.
I I
Yeah,
mean I think it's just like I think everything in the album, well, pretty much everything's got it's got a political statement of some sort.
yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm pretty much, yeah. I won't lay my politics out for everyone to know, but I'm on the left, and and I'm definitely, I'm
Well,
all about Scotland, and so
yeah.
yeah.
Which brings me to my next question, and it's a double-sided question as well. Being on the left as much as you are you surprised by the response to the album in America?
No, I think the one thing that I think certainly when I've been working with Need to Know Music, who their roster.
They're enlightened human beings, aren't they?
Yeah, it's people who feel the same way, and I
Yeah,
think we all share similar views, and I think probably I think that's maybe one reason the Americana. It's a funny one because country to me it's got quite a few little negative things. There's you end up getting tagged in with make America great again and all this sort of stuff in it, and
I, yeah.
I think the Americana scene seems to be a bit more just a bit more my kind of people.
I would say so. And you know what I think is good about the about your approach to the new album as well as the EP is the fact that you are coming from a direction as an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
The music having its influence on the American nation, but also your music being
No
influenced
battery.
by
Please
the
charge.
American nation.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's within the album
Power off.
there's a definite feeling about identity and and even though I mean, I've lived pretty much all of my years, apart from sort of one in Scotland. I feel Scottish. I dream in Scottish, um, but yet I'm a dad is Scots, but my
Yeah,
mum's sort of like League of Nations.
yeah,
So I'm mixed race. I
yeah.
think and so I've always had those sort of questions of I suppose who am I, what am I, um, and I've never not felt Scottish, but at the same time, you know, sometimes I used to work offshore, and sort of back in the a long time ago, probably in less enlightened times, and people used to they'd go, "You don't look like a MacWatt," and it's like, well,
What
I'm
does a McWhat look like?
exactly,
Yeah,
but I mean, so yeah, I think the whole questions of immigration, it's something that it's there, it's very much there on Settler.
yeah. And you take it, you're taking it. We're going to go and have a look at one or two of the little tasters that you've done
Aye,
for the album, which I've found very entertaining,
aye.
but also intriguing is like what is going to be coming. So let's play one of those. So this is the latest one that got put up just today.
Yeah.
Molly McPhee was a witch, some said, and the rumors spread like fire. The curse of Molly McPhee. Molly's curse is that she is a beautiful woman who spurns the advances of the men who want her. For this unnatural behaviour, she is branded a witch and pays the ultimate price. Laura Cantrell did a wonderful job of interpreting this song by weaving her harmony between my vocal parts. Her input brought poor Molly to life, and I love how she approached the song's ending.
So there you go. So Laura Cantrell, I will ask you about how you've managed to inveigle all these magnificent, star-studded cast onto the album, but they all bring their own flavour. And they're very well chosen to the songs that you have chosen them to help you with.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I have to say, yeah, I mean, I gave the album, to Need to Know, like a year ago. They were like, "This is great," and they kind of asked, would you be interested in having a few guests? And I was kind of, I thought, it certainly wouldn't, it could help a lot, So they kind of suggested a few names. I suggested a few names, and we kind of just, yeah, we sort of met in the middle. And I think everyone was, everyone was picked for different, for different reasons, and it was brilliant in the sense that, I mean, nobody turned me down.
I know.
I actually had a
Yeah,
choice of people, and it was,
yeah,
and it was just so. It was so rewarding, being able to sort of work with people who are, I've got their, I've got their CDs, and it's like, people I've long admired. So yeah,
I know.
it's great having them on.
No, it's beautiful, man. And with the songs themselves, and it'll be different in each song, but particularly in that song, was that a story that you had heard and you were motivated to write the song, or because I know that's happened in the past with some of your.
Yeah, some of them. No, I mean that one's just. I think there's so much. I think there's so much happening with whole aspects of misogyny, and
Mm,
and the fact that women are still battling for just to be heard sometimes. And
yeah,
I've I've got a very I've got a great wife who's feels very strongly about these sort of things, and she sort of keeps me kind of she keeps me honest as far as that sort of stuff goes. And
yeah, yeah.
uh, I think I wanted to say something, um, and sometimes being able to write a song and give it a little historical twist just gives you a little bit of distance, so I don't feel like I'm preaching.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
and it gives the audience a perspective as well,
yeah,
which is valuable. Yeah,
and and I've always had a fascination for witchcraft, but when you tie that in with just just these sort of poor women who are really just a bit different, and you end up getting burnt at a stake for just being a
pers-
bit strange. It's
and speaking
I
your word
yeah,
as
just
well. Yeah,
so yeah, and I think it was the one thing with that song. I mean, I was there's a reason people like Laura Cantrell and Gretchen Peters and Eliza Carthy
yeah,
are who they are, and it's
yeah.
because they're just utter professionals at what they do. And it was like I gave the song to Laura. She was like, "Look, you've got two harmonies going on here. I'll because I've got harmonies going on," and she just says, I'll just weave something in between them, and we'll see how it goes." And literally one take, and it was like done, and it was just like,
I
you
know.
know, awesome, and she came up with like all the suggestions for the end, and I ended up going with going with her version. So yeah,
Um,
it's just great.
Interesting, very interesting. So we'll move on to the next one, and let me just remind myself which one it is. Bunny Boys Have Gone. A little bit of a preview of that. Yeah. What's the thinking behind? Oh, well, it'll tell us itself. Eh? Let's just run the whole
Well,
thing.
kind of, yeah.
Wait a minute. Back to the beginning. Let's try that
again. They can work this stubborn land.
My bonny boys have gone. There are so many songs of heroic journeys, epic voyages, and new worlds, but not many about the mothers who were left behind to worry. I was so delighted when Gretchen Peters agreed to sing on Bonny Boys, as I know she has a deep affinity with Scotland. And as a mum herself, she really understood the emotions going on here, and her final verse is so achingly beautiful. I don't want to be alone.
So we're talking to Mall MacWatt. He's in London. I'm in the Highlands of Scotland, in the medicine show Moose Mobile. You guys are very welcome to join the chat, actually. There's a little chat framework.
Hi, neighbor. Hi. I was just wondering if I can...
Kind of interesting. That's Facebook for you. So if you want to join in the chat, there's a chat frame wherever you're viewing from. Some of the pages don't have the chat frame. So if you want to, and there isn't a chat frame on the page that you're viewing, if you go to, and I'll put the wee graphic up here. I'll come back to you in a minute, Matt, but let's see if we can ask if you get some folks involved. It's medicineshowontheroad.me, and that's where you'll find the Moose. And you can follow the Moose there as well, and invite your friends too, because the more that do, the more will view. There's the catchphrase. And so I've got Mall MacWatt with me. Tell us about, thank you for bringing Gretchen Peters back to our world again. My goodness, what a voice that is.
She wanted to do the last verse on her own, and I was like, oh man, yes please. It's like it just I think everyone that hears that song, especially if you're a parent, her last verse, it's just killer. I mean, it's killer on the heartstrings. She's very slightly out of her range. This song was a bit high for her, and so because she has to push herself a little bit more, there's just so much more emotion in it, and it's just sublime. And I think quite a few reviews I've had of the album everyone sort of picked up on that last just that last verse that she sings, because it's something else. So yeah, I mean, it's brilliant to get her involved. She's just such a gracious and warm and delightful person to work with. So it was an absolute joy, really.
You must be at this point in time, even before the album comes out, and I predict, it's not a hard prediction to make, but I predict it will become one of the big albums of next year, Mal. It's not just because of the quality of the people that are on the album, but particularly because the quality of the songs. And I congratulate you on that, of course. And I've always been a fan of your songs. You've been writing them since you've been about 17, 18 years old. But also because of the cultural and the historical references behind the songs. You're saying very important things about where people come from, and particularly from a Scottish point of view, because we're scattered throughout the world. That is important, not just for the Scots, but also for the people that were peopled by the Scots, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think the timing of the record could not be better, because those questions are being asked. They're being asked, where are we coming from? What where because the Scots are, we might say we're Scots, but we're not. We're Irish. We're Pictish,
Pictish,
Norse.
yeah,
It
Roman,
just
even
doesn't.
something.
Yeah,
You know, it
it's
was
always
everything.
been that way.
Yeah.
And the early settlers were nomadic.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, they had to be nomadic. So the human spirit comes out through your songs because of that aspect. And the stories that you're telling are very, very poignant. Well, at least to me, anyway.
Aye.
So
No, well, thank you.
I think it will. I think it will be an interesting process,
No, thank you
and
for saying that. It's,
I think you'll be at the center of. That's why I'm keen that people ask some questions in the chat frame, because I would be delighted to know what people think about the concept behind it. Maybe we should come back in about 3 or 4 months' time, when
aye.
everybody's had a good chance to listen to the album and ask those questions,
Yeah.
see what answers we get from it. So I'm going to play the one that Eliza Carthy is on, and I'll let it play, and we'll talk about the
Yeah.
concept behind it as well. Oh,
Give me
sorry,
the sound.
I still muted. I'll start it again.
The Miller's Daughter. There was a time not so long ago when women, rich and poor, had no say in their own destiny and were traded in marriage to the highest bidder. No woman should ever have to be forcibly married because her family wants more status. Eliza Carthy has so much presence, and she firmly rooted the song to the British Isles. Her passion, power and depth really carved out her own place in the song, and while the Miller's Daughter may not have a name, she has a voice.
I just want to hear the whole song now, though. That's why they're called teasers, isn't it?
Aye. I think that one's probably been that's had a fantastic response, I have to say. It's also one of the songs that it fits really well into my live set, and even just with the acoustic guitar, it always, I always get a great reception for that one. I think it seems to, it strikes a chord, and I think there's something that's quite, maybe just with the riff or whatever. It's a song. It sort of sounds like it's always been around. There's a kind of I think there's like a timeless quality to that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably in the guitar riff. I'm probably, there's bits of Dick Gaughan in there that I probably can't help putting in, because he's such a strong influence on my own guitar playing. I think as far as the song goes, that was the one. Eliza Carthy just had to sing that one.
Yeah.
I originally I had the song set in New England or somewhere, and with the first notes that she sings, I think like her own accent comes through so really strongly, and and I just loved that. I love Eliza Carthy. I think she's pretty much everything she's done. I just really admire her, just for the way that she just there's no she just crosses genres, and it doesn't matter what she does, she always sounds like her, just like herself. So I'm really happy with that song. And I think I got a really nice message from her on an email, and it just said, "You've got a great band," and I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." Thank you very much. It's just me. So it's like
all those years, right? Just sitting with your guitar in your studio. learning your craft. It's to come to this point. I mean, I'm not saying that you haven't been busy live wise as well, but to come to this point and be accepted into the fraternity at that level is fantastic news. It really
Yeah,
is.
I mean, I think it's it's a funny one because it's, you know, I'm actually, I'm not that great a player at, you know, I'm a good guitar player. I've always been a good guitar player, and
Yeah,
the guitar is still definitely my number one instrument. But you know, I think I've got an obsession for the banjo. I can't. It's probably my go-to instrument at the moment. You know, the mandolin I sort of picked up at the end of last year, and you know, but I think, you know, some of the arrangements, just the way that they worked out, they were just able to, you know, I can play for so long on one instrument, and then I start to run out of steam because I just don't have the chops, you know, to do
mm,
what I want to do. So at that point, it's a case of sort of moving on to another instrument
yeah,
when I'm more comfortable. You know, and so all these arrangements, they sort of sound like they were, you know, they were created, but really they were just there to. It was just what I could play, you know. So,
yeah, yeah,
uh, and I think if I had, I think if I had been playing with really great musicians, I would have ended up just being enthralled by them and enthralled by the music, and I think I would have just let the music happen. Doing it this way, I can, you know, all the songs are, they can sort of be a bit more succinct, I suppose, you know.
mm, yeah. So we've got another one. Let's go for this. Again, I can't read that.
The song's called Trespass, I
It's
think, looking at that
trespass.
one.
We're into
Yeah.
trespass. Let's go for that. Land rights, Malcolm.
Before
Aye.
the sun.
Trespass. Successive generations of oppressive rulers and the powerful elite have stolen the common land that used to be for the benefit of all, and use feudal law.
So the internet
You
stopped.
got a little glitch there. Yeah. No worries.
That's well. No, we got the
Yeah, yeah, you got the gist of
we
it.
got the gist of it. So, of course, we're Highlanders, so we can't go anywhere without contesting the right to go there. I mean, I know we've got the right to roam wherever we go, but the very fact that the neglect of, because everybody sees the Highlands as a natural wilderness, it really isn't a
No,
natural wilderness.
no.
It's a man-made desert in many ways, and a lot of that comes through either neglect or trying to use the land for something that its purpose should not be.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
it's funny, I've got a brand new song that I've actually just recorded it, and it's called Heather and Honey, and it's about two different people looking at, I suppose, looking at Heather, or looking at the Highlands from two different perspectives, you know, and one is somebody who looks at the Highlands and sees Grice and sees the 12th of July,
yeah,
you know, and the shooting and all that stuff, and the other one's someone who sees the Highlands as a place that right now is really difficult to make a living there, and you know, and people are, you know, and you know, you've got all these thousands of acres that are, you know, that are given over to animals that are just being bred to be shot, you know,
yeah,
and I mean, and then at the same time, there's, you know, people are, you know, having to leave and sort of go to the cities because they can't buy a house, and they can't, you can't bring up your kids on fresh air and, you know, nice views, you know. So it's, I think trespass was. It's kind of very much about that this idea that yep. I mean, I think so much of England is privately owned, but so much of Scotland is privately owned, and while we have the right to roam, it's those things are being eroded, year by year, and it's. I just think it's, from my point of view, I like to see a lot of land being nationalised again and given back to to the nation, and
and we all know that there has been a move to reclaim the land, and it has got to the point where it's had to be an insurgency over the years since the clearances.
mm-hmm.
For instance, since that actual connection between the right to live on your own bit of land,
Aye.
yeah, albeit belonging to someone else, but you had the right to farm that land as long as it was an understanding. Ever since that has been broken, then it's the land has not been owned by the people who live there.
No, and and it's. I just think it's like I hate to think, I hate to think of the Highlands as ending up being sort of repopulated by a wealthy, like a new clan of just wealthy people who can just live there and just enjoy it for as the pretty, as a pretty play
Yeah,
park.
yeah,
It's like a,
yeah,
I want to see. I mean, I tell you, it's I see it in Murray. Towns that used to be thriving and vibrant,
yeah,
and everything's now, and you look at the price of houses in some of these places. They're so cheap because there's nobody, there's no one to live there. But the reason there's no one there because there's no infrastructure, there's no
yeah,
shops,
yeah,
there's all the all the butchers, all the bakers, they're all gone. And it's just it's just a shame. It's like I just like to see you know places, the sort of wild places being repopulated with people again,
yeah.
and you know.
And if people have a stake in their surroundings, then they will make sure that there is a creative output.
I'd just like to
That
say hello to Eric Kleintedge,
oh, is that
who's
Eric with us? Let's have
yeah,
a wee peek.
he's
Hey,
just saying
Eric.
hello.
Yeah,
Hey.
talking of which,
Mm-hmm.
we were just talking about Murray, and Eric has the Eagle sessions in Murray, and has been a good friend of ours forever. He used to put the fireworks on way
Aye.
back then as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, good guy.
so thanks for joining us. Thanks for everyone joining us this evening as well. We've got a little chat frame there, and we can go at least to one more song. And I'm interested from a personal point of view in this as well, because you've managed to do this in a lot of your songs. You've highlighted stories that deserve to be highlighted, that might not have got the recognition otherwise, in a main in a main media sort of way. And the story of John Ray is particularly one of
Mm.
those that's close to my heart, because I'd stumbled across it. I was up in Orkney, and there was a statue to an explorer who I'd never heard of, and asked somebody about him, and of course everybody in Orkney knew of his exploits, and I was like, really? He found the Northwest Passage? I thought that was uh, oh, what's his name? Lord
Franklin.
Franklin. And
Franklin.
he never
No.
found the
No.
Northwest Passage. He
No.
was close,
Aye.
uh, but John Ray was the man who found the Northwest. Well, I say found it. The Inuit people showed him
Aye.
the way to the Northwest Passage,
Yeah.
but which was the holy grail of commerce, to get from our side across to the Indies in a direct route. The Victorians spent a fortune to try and find that,
Mm-hmm.
and John Ray managed to do it with the help of his bushcraft and
Aye.
the knowledge of the Inuit people.
Well,
So
this song. I mean, I actually got the idea for this song from you directly. So, thank you very much because I'd never heard of John Ray either. Until you brought him up, and and I went and read his story, and I, was- I was just out. I was outraged, to be honest. It's like I
yeah,
was just,
no, I know.
it's just. I mean, I was just furious. I thought because I mean, in London, there's a right in the centre of London. There's statues to Franklin,
Yeah,
and it says on the statue, "This is the guy that found the Northwest Passage."
yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
so yeah. I mean, for this song, whatever royalties I end up getting, who knows what they'll be, but
Aye.
my share of royalties from this are going to the John Ray Society.
Good on.
I think
Good on you.
I think John Ray's story. It's something. It's this is a guy.
It should be getting taught in the schools.
Yeah.
We learn about Livingstone and Stanley and some of the other great Scottish explorers. But I can't remember his name. But the fellow that opened up the Canadian interior.
Was it McCain? Was it McCain? Was it Mackenzie? Was it?
He just from it was a Mackenzie, yeah.
Aye.
From Och, just
Aye.
along the road from here, opened up the interior of Canada. Was the first person to go northwest, east to west in Canada. Another Scot. It's the intrepid nature of the Scottish people that because of the wide open spaces and particularly in Orkney being used to the elements, it just it puts them in the right frame, the right place to be explorers.
I think also Orkney. I mean, you sort of forget how important it was as a trading center that was, and back in the day there was just
It was the last fueling station before
exactly
North America before the colonies.
So everyone sort of stopped in by it. I mean, I've got a couple of I've got a new song that I've got coming in on my next album, which is an Orkney story. So it's and I think for this one, I mean for this song, I've long been I've been a fanboy of Chris Drever's work. I just and his dad, it's like so it's like when I was one of the first names that I'd asked for, I said to the label, is there any chance of getting Chris Drever? If you could get me Chris Drever, I'll die happy, and like and he just it was great.
Well, it must have been a joy for him to hear John Ray's name being mentioned out with the Orkney as well.
No, I hope so.
You know what? Well, let's play the song.
Aye.
And that not the song itself, but let's play the
little
taste,
snippet.
and that tell folks a little bit more of the background behind the whole story, really, and we'll come back and talk a bit more.
John Ray's Welcome Home. Orkney explorer Dr. John Ray should have been as famous as David Livingstone, Hugh Miller, or John Muir, but his rightful place in history was denied him for telling the truth. To have Orkney-born musician Chris Drever sing and play electric guitar on this song has added much more than just a geographical connection. His harmonies were so sympathetic, they transformed the bridge section and changed how I sing the song live.
Orkney shines a light upon her son.
And I reckon you've amassed a little bit of royalties already, because the BBC Radio Scotland, that's the song that they've picked up on most from the album, I think.
Yeah, and I've got a little. Yeah, I'm actually.
Afternoon, folks. I'd like to share this song that I've been
Oh,
working on
David
this
Cowan,
morning.
what's he doing now? Let's get back to Mall. Sorry about that.
That's okay. No worries. I've got a wee. Yeah, I did a little news interview for BBC Radio Orkney, which they're putting out, I think, this at the end of the week.
Perfect.
So, they don't actually have I don't think they've got a music program as such, but they're going to be playing the song as part of as part of the news. So that's really great.
That is great. There is a folk program in Orkney. I'll send you the link to it.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Obviously, there's 2 or 3 outlets in Radio Shetland as well. So I'm sure everybody will pick up on that as well. The story behind why was John Ray suppressed? Why was these? That's interesting.
I think that's the thing. It's the fact that he pretty much found what had happened to the Franklin expedition, and I mean these were brave, hardy men, who were, but just through the combination of just the weather and
they were very unlucky, and the weather was particularly harsh.
And they ended up, there was very what John Ray found was what the Inuit had known for a while was that quite a few of them had ended up dying. And they resorted to cannibalism.
Yeah.
And Ray came back. He told his story privately to the Royal Navy.
Yeah.
I think Franklin's widow ended up. She just would not accept that her husband or any of her husband's men would, as stiff upper lip Englishmen would
racist as well. Because basically they got it from John Ray, but it was actually the fact that John Ray took the word of his friends, the Inuits, over the blindness of the establishment to actually what happened.
And then they ended up, she employed, Charles Dickens to write a really savage, that just to totally ruin, Ray's reputation and everything. It was just a really sort of shabby, a shabby thing to do to a good man, and and the guy should have, he should have been a celebrated hero and pretty much sort of died and unknown and uncelebrated. It's terrible. Aye.
So we've got Eric saying Northwest Passage. Spencer Tracy and Northwest Passage. It's a while since I've watched that, and
I don't think I've ever seen it. It's like
I think I might just find that on YouTube tonight. That might be my viewing.
It was a good documentary done, kind of like one of these sort of dramatized documentaries, and they brought, and I think as part of that, they also had some of the Inuit, basically. Whose ancestors were involved and sort of found some of these, because they were accused of all sorts of savagery, and they were kind of sort of seeking an apology sort of now, for what was said. But yeah, it's a absolutely fascinating story, and if anything, I kind of I sort of hope, because John Ray himself was supposedly like a very modest man, so I hope he's happy with it.
Yeah, and it does it highlights the strength of the connection between Canada and Scotland as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that is because of folks that were willing to go and learn the ways of the tribal people in
Yeah, yeah.
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings that into the
Aye.
consciousness as well. So Larissa's with us,
Yeah. Hi, Larissa.
but like we're just what we're doing is we're just playing some of the tasters from the album and getting me overexcited about the fact the album is going to be with us in 4 or 5 days. Before I play, I'm going to play Banjo Lullaby, probably the last one. We'll let you go after that one. And before we do that, folks can pre-save it on Spotify, and
Yeah.
can they?
I think. I mean, it'll be. I mean, I to be honest, I don't know anything about this sort of pre-saving stuff. It's a bit. It's all a bit sort of new to me. I just make a record, make a record
Yeah,
and put it out.
I just write the songs. It
The
must be nice to know that folk are taking care of that for you now, though. Eh?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, I think it, I think having people sort of sort of doing the promo and doing the stuff for you. It's great. So yeah, I don't want to get myself spoiled because who knows what the future brings. So, but I'm enjoying this anyway.
I'm sure you
At the
are. Well,
moment.
I'm enjoying it as well, nefariously on your behalf. Oh, what we'll do is, because I think this is as good a place as any to keep up to date with what your new releases are, and indeed for anybody that's new to what Mall MacWatt is doing, it's a good place to catch up with what you have been doing over the last few years. The Bandcamp site.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Uh,
it's been a bit of a fanny.
so no, I can see it there, but I mean, it'll be up. Everything will be on Bandcamp and available. On Friday it'll be there, and so you can take it as a download, but you can also buy it as a CD.
Yeah,
From Bandcamp as well. So, I mean,
yeah.
I've actually sold a lot of CDs already. That's been that. I'm quite heartened to see that people still do listen to music on CD.
I know,
I
yeah,
mean,
it does.
I know I've got my CD player here. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
it tends to be. I listen to everything on CD. I mean, I've just to an album I've just got myself a hold of. It's Jenny Sturgeon's Living Mountain. Oh, what an album!
really.
It's just phenomenal. And I heard it on Spotify, and you just think, music that good.
Yeah.
I can't stream it. It just doesn't sound great, So it's like the eh, for me it's still CD, and I'm not going to go back and. I like living in. I've got a small flat in London, and I quite like living in small places. So I've got no intentions of getting back into vinyl or anything because I
Yeah,
don't have the room for it.
because you compact this is the best way of
Yeah,
doing it. So, while we're on the subject, Medicine Show Records, and you've helped us out over the years as well with a couple of donated tracks for some of our compilations,
no,
and on the subject of being gratified by sales, the last two times that we've done one of these, and I've mentioned Medicine Show Records, there's been a ka-ching in my Bandcamp campsite.
good.
People have actually downloaded tracks and helped me donated because it's free, but by donation you pay what you want. So if any of there's quite a Miles got a track. I can't remember. Was that a Glass Mountain?
May well have been. You know what?
Yeah, yeah. It was
I
a couple of
can't
years ago.
remember. I just want to say hello to Chris Lee. He's been a good supporter of my music, so he's just said hello there. So nice to him. But I mean, I mean, I'm always glad when people are. I always try and share your links about. I mean, you and I have known each other for a long time, and you've just always been consistently this sort of champion of roots music. So it's like I appreciate you very much, sir. So
well, it's nice to be in the position to help out, and I can't wait to see how the album is going to manifest itself when it does. And good luck with everything.
Yeah, no, cheers, Rob. Thank you.
And we're going to get back to playing some gigs. Have you got some gigs coming up? I noticed there's a couple.
I mean, I'm even getting. It's funny. I've got. I'm leaving November, December. I've left pretty much free. I've got one at the end of this week. It's I'm sort of playing with a Welsh girl called Shannon Hines. So we're just doing a little kind of, we're sort of sharing the stage for this one. I've left November and December free because I'm so busy recording. January.
So you know what the next project's already going to be?
Yeah, everything's kind of already sort of done, and also, I mean, I think 8/10 of my new album's already recorded, so I've just got a couple of I've got a couple of songs to do. So I've got some good supports and that sort of coming up next year. I think I've been I've had a couple of great invites to play in Holland or the Netherlands. At end of next year and into the beginning.
I noticed that Lucky Dice are distributing your album for you.
Yeah, well, Lucky Dice have been brilliant, and they're just so they're going to be sort of looking at.
And you're getting a lot of
organizing some a little tour for me out there. So yeah,
excellent. Well, they'll look after you, and you're getting a whole load of good airplay over there. And I noticed you're on the Euro Americana chart this month as well.
I mean, I sort of debuted in at number 14. I was really proud of that. I mean, I've never been on that chart before, so it should
with the release of the album, that should help things along as well.
No, it's been brilliant.
Well, good luck with everything. I'm going to just
play
play this last one.
Yeah.
Maybe Banjo Lullaby is a good way to play out, do you think?
Aye. I mean, it's a funny song. I mean, the song's at the end of the day, it's a kind of a fun song, but it's got a dark underside to it. It's it's more. I'm not a drinker, anymore.
My daddy liked to drink.
Sorry, excuse me.
Go for it. Yeah, it's kind of like a pro-temperance song in a way.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
My daddy liked the whiskey. My daddy liked to drink.
Banjo Lullaby is a light-hearted song of menace and domestic terror, as a drunken father insists on playing his banjo during his children's bedtime. My own dog Kelton sits quietly with me in the recording studio, but as soon as I pick up the banjo, he's off. So I just love the idea that a banjo could lull anyone to sleep.
We would you and I ever living.
If you clock them on the side of the head with it.
I know.
Go to bed now, my sweet children. Now we'll play some.
Well, I can't wait. Can't wait, Mal.
Cheers, Rob.
Good luck with everything. Well, let's do that. Let's work out how we can find each other in about 2 or 3 months and just try and see what people think about it.
Yeah, next time what I can do is I can sort of plug my little mixer in and plug a guitar and maybe do a few songs as well. That would be cool.
Well, that'd be nice. Look forward to it. Good luck.
Yeah, I hope I catch you up there sometime. I'm going to be up as much as I can. I think my next Scottish gig is I'm playing in Edinburgh Folk Club in April.
April.
But I'm going to try.
I've got an idea.
But I'm going to try.
I'll be in Edinburgh in April as well. So
okay. Oh well, we can.
And it might be at the same time.
Aye, yeah, that'd be cool. Well,
All right, mate.
Brilliant.
I might have a gig for you as well. I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay.
I won't. All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
Magic. See you later, Rob. Bye-bye.
Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for being with us, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the comments. And there's Chris really saying what I'm saying as well. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow, I might do something. I'm thinking of doing a Flying Shoes review. Just look at the albums that are being reviewed in Flying Shoes review tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I do believe we've got Guff Morlock coming in to say hello to us on Wednesday. So I've got to get that set up as well. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following the Moose. The Moose is at medicineshowontheroad.me. And please do follow the Moose there. Cheers, Mal. We're out of here.
See you later, Rob. Bye-bye.
Bye.